Have you ever wondered what the world would be like if humans just vanished? One moment we're here, scrolling through our phones, commuting to work, living our lives, and the next, poof, we're gone. It sounds like the start of a sci-fi movie, right? But let's seriously think about it. What would happen to the world we built, the pets we love, and the planet itself? Let's embark on a journey through time, starting from the very first seconds after our mysterious disappearance. In the first few hours, the world wouldn't seem all that different. Lights would still be on, cars might be idling on the streets, and planes on autopilot would continue their journey. But chaos would begin to creep in. Without human intervention, those automated planes would eventually run out of fuel and crash. Cars would stop where they were, creating silent, motionless traffic jams that would last for centuries. Within a day or two, the silence would be broken by a new kind of noise. Without us to flip the switches, power grids would start to fail. Most power plants, especially those running on fossil fuels, need constant human supervision. As they shut down one by one, a wave of darkness would sweep across the continents. Imagine the iconic nighttime view of Earth from space, a glittering web of light, slowly dimming until only the natural glow of the moon, stars, and auroras remain. This would be a sight no human would ever see. The lack of power would have immediate and cascading effects. The internet would crash. All our memories, photos, and online lives would be stuck in servers without power to keep them running. Refrigerators and freezers would stop working, and the food inside would begin to rot, creating an unimaginable feast for bacteria and insects. What about our beloved pets? This is one of the sadder parts of our thought experiment. Dogs and cats trapped indoors would face a grim reality. Many wouldn't make it, but those that could escape would enter a wild new world. Smaller dog breeds would struggle to survive against predators and the elements. Larger, more robust breeds might form packs, reverting to their ancestral wolf-like behaviors. Cats, with their natural hunting instincts, would likely fare much better. They'd become formidable predators, impacting local bird and rodent populations significantly. Farm animals like cows, chickens, and pigs, bred for dependency on humans, would face a terrible fate, either starving or becoming easy prey for newly emboldened predators. Within the first week, the world would start to feel wilder. Without electricity to power the pumps, subway systems in cities like New York and London would begin to flood. Streets would become rivers, transforming urban canyons into murky waterways. Nuclear power plants are a huge concern. Their safety systems are designed to be robust, and most would likely shut down safely. However, the spent fuel pools need active cooling. Without power and people to manage them, they would eventually overheat, leading to meltdowns and releasing radioactive material into the environment. While not a global apocalypse, these areas would become highly contaminated exclusion zones for thousands of years. As weeks turn into months, nature would begin its relentless reclamation project. Your carefully manicured lawn would become a jungle of weeds. Gardens would be overrun. Cracks in the pavement would be exploited by hardy plants, their roots slowly breaking apart our roads and sidewalks. Vines would start to climb the sides of skyscrapers, turning our concrete jungles into green ones. A year after we're gone, the world would look noticeably different. Small animals would thrive. Rat and cockroach populations, which exploded in the initial chaos of rotting food, would now be controlled by a growing number of predators like hawks, owls, and foxes who would move into our abandoned cities. The air would become cleaner. Without our cars, factories, and power plants spewing out pollutants, smog would dissipate and the skies would clear. You'd be able to see the Milky Way from the middle of Times Square. After about 20 years, the evidence of our civilization would start to crumble. The wooden houses we lived in would be rotting away, consumed by termites and fungi. Steel structures would fare a bit better, but rust would be eating away at them. Bridges, especially suspension bridges with their delicate cables, would start to fail. The Golden Gate Bridge might last a couple of centuries, but many others would collapse much sooner, their steel skeletons falling into the rivers they once spanned. A century post-humanity, and nature's takeover would be undeniable. Forests would have retaken suburbs and pushed into the edges of city centers. Rivers, freed from our dams and levees, would reclaim their natural floodplains, dramatically reshaping the landscape. Large animals would return to areas they haven't inhabited for centuries. Herds of deer would graze in city parks, Bears might hibernate in the basements of collapsed homes, and wolves could be heard howling from the rooftops of skyscrapers. The animal kingdom would re-establish its own balance, a new wild order in a world without its former masters. Our great glass and steel skyscrapers would begin to fall. Water would freeze and thaw in cracks, a process called ice wedging, prying apart concrete and steel. Windows would shatter, allowing weather and wildlife inside. Eventually, after a few hundred years, even the most iconic towers would succumb to gravity, collapsing in a cloud of dust and debris, becoming little more than artificial hills on the landscape. Let's fast forward 1,000 years. What's left of us? Very little that's recognizable. Most of our buildings would be gone, buried under soil and vegetation. Our asphalt roads would be almost entirely consumed by nature. The only things that might hint at our existence would be things made of incredibly durable materials. Think of the granite faces of Mount Rushmore, though they too would be eroding, their features softening over millennia. Stainless steel objects, like kitchen sinks, might survive for a very long time, as would our mountains of plastic waste and glass bottles. These artifacts would be our strange, enduring fossils. After 10,000 years, the evidence of a global, technologically advanced civilization would be incredibly hard to find. Future intelligent life, if it ever evolved or visited Earth, would have to be very good archaeologists to even know we were here. They might find strange concentrations of metals in the soil, the remnants of our cities. They might unearth a plastic bottle or a shard of glass. Our vast networks of underground tunnels and foundations might leave geological signatures. What about our impact on the planet's climate? Without our constant pumping of CO2 into the atmosphere, the Earth would begin to heal itself. Over thousands of years, carbon dioxide levels would slowly return to their pre-industrial state. Global temperatures would stabilize. The planet has natural recovery mechanisms, but it takes time, geological time. Our disappearance would also trigger a massive explosion of biodiversity. With the planet's #1 super predator gone, evolution would take fascinating new turns. New species would evolve to fill the niches we vacated. Perhaps over millions of years, a new intelligent species might even arise, maybe from raccoons or octopuses. Who knows? They might one day dig up a fossilized smartphone and wonder about the strange, flat rectangles the ancient inhabitants of this planet were so fond of. So, what's the takeaway from this journey into a post-human world? It's a humbling thought, isn't it? It shows just how powerful and relentless nature is. But it also highlights the immense and rapid impact we have on our planet. Our world is a temporary construction, held together by constant effort. And while the planet would eventually recover from us, our legacy would be written in the soil, the rocks, and the atmosphere for eons to come. It is a powerful reminder to appreciate the world we have now and to be better stewards of the only home we've ever known, because for now we are still here. Thanks for watching and pondering this incredible scenario with me. If you enjoyed this trip into the future, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more mind-bending what-ifs. See you in the next one.